Today we're going to talk about the Flare Ball-in-Place Dissolvable Frac Plug on a Baker 20 setting kit. As you can see here in front of us, we have a Baker 20 setting dummy, if you will, and then we have our adapter above there, which is a necessary part of the setting kit. You can see the set screws there. In the background, we have our setting sleeve, and then we also have, we're going to call our tension mandrel to the left here. So one of the more notable things we want to discuss in today's video is the lock spring as application. There's a lot of different theologies on what is the right way to do it, whether to have the threads protruding or not. And through a lot of testing, we've come to the decision that it's best to have it essentially flush with the spring face, as you can see here. And we're going to show you why. As you come into the castle or the notch here, we want to see it entering into that notch at all times. That's critical, because if it does not, if it gets on the high side, sometimes you may not engage in it. You could actually back the mandrel, the spring off. So it's critical we get into these castle notches, if you will. And we're going to show you, actually, as you can see here, it just will pick up the thread automatically as we begin to thread it. It will actually, it seems strange, but you can pick that thread up here, and it's a little tricky at first, and it's easier when the tool's on there, but it will pick up the thread. There, it's already picked it up there. So moving on to actually installing the tension mandrel onto the ball-in-place plug, we have our ball. We're just going to drop that simply into the throat of the tool itself. We have 3 set screws there, and we're just going to go ahead and screw our tension mandrel into place, and we'll bump it securely, and then we will set the set screws. We want to see these set screws very tight here. Don't over torque them, but definitely a good torque application across all 3. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and install the setting sleeve is next. All right, the setting sleeve is fairly simple as that goes. Simply slide it on and thread it onto your tool, and then you will torque it up pipe wrench tight. Once it's pipe wrench tight, there are 3 set screws that we want to see tightened appropriately. And now we're ready to install the plug itself. Okay, simply install the tool as we showed earlier. You can hear the ball moving around. And we're going to go ahead and try to show you if possible as we come into the castle. It's kind of a little tricky to see there. We're going to try some lighting here. But we're in the castle. He's locked up, and now we are ready to go ahead and begin threading the tool. Okay, now you can see the lock spring is in the castle notch itself. That's what we want to see as we make this up. All right, simply put the pipe wrench, as you can see, on the shoe if you need to, but you should be able to do it by hand initially. So we're just going to torque it down. And what we're doing right now is we're advancing that, and we're going to take it till we touch this seal interface, well, swedge interface, I should call it. Okay, the plug's made up. There's no gap here now, and we bumped it with a pipe wrench up top, gently, just a bump. And then you should be able to look in here and see your spring is still engaged in the castle notch. Thus, your plug is now ready to run down hole and have a successful frac job.